Exploring the great outdoors in Pennsylvania and beyond. Brought to you by the Mariana Outdoorsman Association and by Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds. Now, the great outdoors with Jason White.
Hello, friends. I'm Jason White. Welcome to the Great Outdoors. It's a pleasure having you today and being with you on this very, very cold day here in southwestern Pennsylvania. On my way to the station, it was -5. It seems like it warmed up. It's now a warm and toasty -1 on my cell phone. So, by all means, please make sure you got your your place locked up. Make sure your windows are closed, doors are closed. Make sure you're doing everything you can for saving any heat, because certainly you don't want something to shut off and freeze in these types of conditions. That would be very, very bad. So, wishing everybody nothing but good health, and just let's get through these next 3 to 4 days of the cold weather. It looks like we're finally going to get a break, and Mother Nature's going to get above freezing this upcoming weekend. That being said, I want to give a special thanks to our sponsors, the Mariana Outdoorsman Association. You can join the MOA today at MarianaOutdoors.com. Again, MarianaOutdoors.com. 2.5 miles of private trout fishing, trophy trout fishing, approximately 400 acres of upland bird hunting, 1,000-yard rifle range, 2 pistol ranges, and much, much more. Again, information is at MarianaOutdoors.com. Give us a call at 724-579-0924. Always happy to give a tour, and certainly I'm going to dive into some of our upcoming events here in a minute. Love to see you out on the property and enjoying making some amazing memories. Wild Acres Farm, Fishery, and Regulated Hunting Grounds, managed and operated by 10 Mile Creek Outfitters. You can give us a call at 724-579-0924. Website is 10mileco.org, TENMILECO.org. Weddings, parties, corporate events, private fishing events, upland bird hunts, let's see here, continental pheasant hunts, you name it. All these different types of activities can be booked through Wild Acres. So again, 10mileco.org. Give us a call, 724-579-0924. Mariana Outdoorsman Association upcoming events. Friday, February the 7th, trout stalking number 6. We always meet at 3 o'clock, 1997 Maury Road, Clarksville, PA, 15322. Trout stalking number 7 will take place Friday, March 7th at 3 p.m. Same time, same location. Trout stalking number 8 will be Thursday, April the 3rd at 3 o'clock. That is, again, trout stalking number 8. And again, 1997 Maury Road, Clarksville, PA, 15322. Thursday, May 1st will be stalking number 9. And then the following day, Friday, May 2nd through Sunday, May 4th, it'll be the 2nd annual PA Trout Classic. Personally, I'm really excited about this. I love how we've kind of set this up. I would like to go over that for a second real quick. It's a 2.5-day event. You personally do not have to be there the full time. You can come and go at your leisure. It's a tagged contest, so there are tagged fish all through the water. So like if you come on Friday and you want to fish a half day and leave, come back and fish all day Saturday and Sunday, you're welcome to do that. Say Friday you're too busy and you just want to fish all day Saturday and Sunday, you can do that too. So please do not feel obligated. The information's on, again, MarianaOutdoors.com. This particular event, it's $180 a person. It's listed as a 3-day tournament. It's really actually 2.5. We'll have 2 sections of stream, Daniels Run and also 10 Mile Creek. It's a catch and release tournament, pinched and or barbless hooks, no treble hooks. Fishing net, pliers, and clippers required. We try to practice good fish handling skills. Please always wet your hands. Artificial and live bait sections of the streams. We'll have maps, and we'll go over all this, so if anybody has any questions. There'll be payouts based upon the total number of participants. We're allowing up to 80 people this year. First, second, third place will be based upon the largest fish by length, smallest fish, and then we're going to do a tag raffle. So we're actually going to collect all the tags and kind of do a random drawing. trout are tagged and measured in advance, so need not worry about any of that. You just basically remove the tag, which we'll go over anybody that wants to participate. Again, 80 spots, all rules are applicable under MOA standards, which you can look at those actually on our website right now and or our Facebook page. Streams will be private for the days of the tournament. You must register by April 30th to participate. It's open to the general public. Starts at daylight. End time is dark Friday and Saturday. And then Sunday, it'll actually end at 12 p.m. And then we're going to have a lunch and go over the winners. Pennsylvania fishing license is required. And again, if you have any questions, please give us a call, 724-579-0924. You can register today by going to MarianaOutdoors.com, click on the donation tab, and then in the comment section, obviously you're going to make your payment, but also in the comment section, you're going to put 2025 PA Trout Classic. Really look forward to having you. It's going to be an awesome event. Super excited about it, and it was a really, I would say, we had a tremendous turnout last year. It was just a super positive experience. So fingers crossed we have good weather. That's always a hurdle with outdoor activities, but certainly hopeful that we'll have some nice weather, rain or shine, but hopefully we just don't have any blowout rains. That's always a concern that time of the year. But more than anything, we just pray for some good weather. Saturday, June 14th, it's going to be the MOA and also collaborative effort with the American Oil and Gas Alliance. Again, Saturday, June 14th, it'll be our golf outing. That's 9 a.m., and it'll be at Chippewa Golf Course, located in Bentleyville, Pennsylvania. It's $125 a person, $500 per team, max 36 teams. We have information on our MOA's Facebook page and also our website if you'd like to either participate and or become a sponsor. Certainly happy to have you, and really excited about this particular event. It's something we do every year. Specifically, monies we raise go towards our habitat improvement, which every year we're always doing something, whether that's in a stream, on land, doesn't really matter. We're always doing stuff to improve the habitat for wildlife. So, greatly appreciate your attendance, participation, sponsorship, etc. But, please feel free to reach out with any questions or if you want to, again, participate. I had a couple different things I wanted to touch base on. One is about the fires out in California. Pennsylvania actually has burning programs actually through the Pennsylvania Game Commission. If you're unfamiliar with those programs, by all means, please go online, go to Google or a search engine, and look up, burn programs with the Pennsylvania Game Commission. They do exist. In instances like what happened in California, not saying that, or even Hawaii, not saying that it would have been a one-stop shop solution, but certainly, we always have to remember the more underbrush you have, undergrowth, etc. If it does not go managed appropriately, and you do end up with a fire, which is obviously what has happened, not only in California, but it previously and prior happened in Hawaii, any zones that are subject to fire, clearly it's a huge detriment. So you got to think about that. Things along the lines of these controlled burns are super beneficial when it comes to getting rid of, I would say, unused or unwanted underbrush. Furthermore, when you talk about habitat development, it's actually really, really good for the ecosystem. It actually helps with the soil pH. That ash getting into the soil is really, really good for the soil composition. So even from plant growth and development, that is a huge, huge, huge. Think of it like fertilizer. So, when we talk about control burns, it's certainly something for I would say any farmer, anybody that has land that's certainly close to homes or residential spaces. These are just things to think about and consider. certainly from a safety perspective, when you're talking about controlled burns, um, controlled burns certainly should be done with appropriate first responders, clearly fire departments. But you're going to do something in those capacities with those types of folks being involved. I think for the future, I don't know what's going to happen here with the new federal administration, but I could certainly see that being a much higher opportunity, I guess I'll call it, doing control burns, especially in parts of the country where, just like California, there's parts of Arizona, Nevada, obviously Hawaii, so on and so forth, that are extremely susceptible not only to fires, but also, the expansion of fires. And then you end up with these monstrosity blazes that, sadly can destroy communities. That being said, I also want to highlight the fact that, in lieu of the controlled burns, which I think have a lot of benefits, not only from a safety perspective, but also from the environmental stewardship aspect of it, with helping bolster soil pH, I would say, values when it comes to output of plants. But also, I think it's really critical, to incorporate first responders with the training aspects and the avenues that you can kind of engage and do practice. I think there's a lot of opportunities there when you talk about initial and preliminary training. You're connecting the first responders with the outdoors, better education to the general public of why controlled burns are so important, not only from a safety perspective. Again, there's a lot of environmental benefits to doing this. But again, I'm really interested to see specific parts of the country, because again, Pennsylvania presents a lot of opportunities. Certainly, again, I can't reiterate the fact enough that there's a lot of benefits with public safety. I want to make sure to highlight the fact that there's a lot of opportunity to engage first responders, incorporate them as part of the environmental stewardship process, and for everybody to truly understand the benefits of controlled burns. I'm interested to see, though, with again the new leadership federally with the president, where are we going to head as a nation when you talk about controlled burns? It's the old adage, I can prevent forest fires or help prevent forest fires with Smokey the Bear. Controlled burns are actually a great method to help prevent forest fires. I mean, a big thing that I can't stress enough. People have to be more cognizant. Not only when you're in places where you're making a fire, and next thing you know, you end up with a forest fire, or if you live in a space where, like this year in Pennsylvania, where we had a no burn ban put on in some counties or the whole state. It's true reality, folks. There are instances where these fires can be just absolutely devastating. It's super sad, very, very sad to see what's going on in California. It was terrible to see what happened in Hawaii. But that being said, if there are things that we can do from a conservation perspective to help in any way possible prevent, by getting rid of some of the underbrush and in turn actually improving the environment, there's a lot of benefits to it. Furthermore, incentives to incorporate training, incentivizing fire departments, etc. I think these are all win-wins, because at the end of the day, the better the training, obviously when an emergency does happen, your first responders are better prepared. Not to say that they weren't prepared in Hawaii or in California. I think that those were kind of collectively just did not do the proper burns in advance. There was a lot of tinder, a lot of I hate to say a ticking time bomb, but both scenarios, high winds, the heat, just a bad situation. The other thing, I've talked about this in the past. Dams. Dams have a lot of benefits here, not only in Pennsylvania, but across the world. To me, it was astounding. I've seen this now for probably the past 15 years, and I really clearly do not understand the political connections and I would say even corruption, the justification of ripping out all these dams. Dams serve a lot of opportunities, especially from public drinking water to emergencies. So, like the instances where they were running short of water and not having adequate water at fire hydrants, etc. To me, was absolutely astounding. In California, dams have been ripped out again and again and again in the name of fish passage or migration or whatnot. And don't get me wrong, I totally respect and understand the need for fish migration. I get it. Certainly, dams and other structures in that category can be developed with fish ladders and innovative solutions so that fish can migrate during migration season. Let's not forget, not all species are migrating 365 days a year. Typically, fish migration happens during reproductive seasons. Typically here in southwestern Pennsylvania especially, that's usually March to May is kind of like the really, really, I would say, super active period of time, that 3 month period, which then I would say even extends into June and July. But that being said, this whole concept and idea to rip dams out left and right across the whole nation with taxpayer money, I understand the concerns at times, that maybe too many were put in and maybe not as strategic as they could have been or should have been. But it raises a lot of questions, especially with what just happened in California, not having adequate water supplies, and the fact that you're going to say ripping out all these dams to save, in the name of, I guess, it's not that it was saving a species of fish. It's just it was opening up more, we'll just call it reproductive space for those particular fish. Did not mean at all that certain species were being decimated or anything by a dam existing. But that being said, it raises a lot of questions about why taxpayer monies have been used to rip out dams across the nation, number one. And number two, look at Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania has the second most waterways, only to Alaska. And to my knowledge, as of last year, there were not any dams being built on the books. So when you talk about renewable energy, clearly solar presents a lot of opportunities, and I know I've been a big advocate of solar on structures. I hate to see farmland, and I hate to see certain spaces destroyed because basically, they're off the books for the foreseeable future. I certainly advocate for the fact that I think utilizing fixed structures, buildings, so on and so forth, I think those are great ideas. New builds, windows, doors, heck, even sidewalks and streetlights can all be converted to solar on a new build or even a rebuild. But that being said, there's been a lot of discussions of that. Windmills in the past have been installed, which have clearly been lackluster at best. And I would say that we're probably going to see a lot of transition away from windmills. But in Pennsylvania, again, with the abundance of water and waterways, it raises the question with a renewable resource such as water. It presents the opportunity as a mechanism to stockpile water that can be certainly utilized for even emergency purposes. So it's going to be interesting. I think this new leadership is definitely going to head away from windmills. I think that's definitely going to happen. I would almost guarantee you the windmill piece of the puzzle is going to transition away. I think where we go with dams is going to be an interesting thing. Between what happened in Hawaii and California, it really highlighted the fact that there's a need for controlled burns. Again, I understand controlled burns are not the ultimate solution, but also the need strategically for dams, not only for energy creation, but also for emergency purposes and also human consumption. I think these things all go without being said. And you got to highlight the fact there's a lot of dams that are installed that they're tremendous recreational assets for boating, leisure. People like to have houses and I would even say camps around lakes. Like when we're talking big lakes. But that being said, these are all viable opportunities for people to recreate, enjoy the great outdoors. Um, but it hasn't been a highlight, I would say, in the past. But I would say again, I stress the fact the new leadership with the president, just with the different disasters that we witnessed in the past few years between Hawaii and now California, the fact dams have been ripped out and aren't being built, the lack of controlled burns. It just raises a lot of questions. And if we're legitimately going to head in the idea of this renewable energy, clearly solar has been proven to be a benefit, clearly strategically and utilized in the right capacities. Windmills have been proven now to be lackluster at best. Not to say they don't ever provide any positive output, but I just don't think the return on investment is there today. And then last but not least, I think the clear and defining windows for places that have abundance of waterways. If we can identify mechanisms for dam utilization, it's certainly something to think about. So I'll certainly keep everybody as I kind of see about any new executive actions, orders, etc. We got to watch for the Department of the Interior. Follow the Army Corps of Engineers, because there's going to be different programs that are going to come down. So we just got to kind of stay on top of these things, see where things head, what monies will be filtered down to the individual states, how that can be incorporated for these ideas, whether it's controlled burns, whether it's training, whether it's energy creation. So I'm really excited. Obviously, it's terrible what we've seen happen in Hawaii and California, but what can we learn from that? What can we learn from that as a society? How can we help prevent those situations? And how can we, get better training? How can we stockpile water? It's just things for us to think about, as we kind of progress forward. And with the new leadership, with President Trump, I'm very interested to see, communities burned to the ground. It's heartbreaking. It's wrenching to think that things could have been done to better prevent those from happening. To think that we tore dams out when if we had water, it could have certainly helped put the fires out. Just raises a lot of questions. It raises a lot of questions. And again, going to be very interested to see kind of how we progress forward. I want to transition over. I was talking last week about some of these programs with the Pennsylvania Game Commission in regards to agriculture. From what I gather, it sounds like the ag program, the ag tags, red tags, the DMAP programs, that those are all going to be opened up, and the Game Commission is going to be providing, it sounds like, substantial changes is what I've gathered from kind of some inside sources. I have not seen any rough drafts yet, so I don't really want to comment too much of detail of what I hope will come. I know the last episode I talked about a lot of the things I think that are good ideas. The problem that I do see, and the lack of engagement into the private sector to be involved in the design process of these programs is concerning to me. It's not only concerning to me with the Game Commission. I could give a laundry list of other agencies, including the Fish Commission. There's not enough sit-down workshops, get around a big table, have whiteboards, conversations, open up the programs, say, okay, hey, this is what is good, this is what is bad, we need to change, this to this. I gave the example last week about the DMAP program. The fact that I myself had 20 tags allocated for the farm, but the way the program's written, you're only allowed to give 4 tags per hunter. Well, that means I had to go solicit to 5 different hunters and ask each one of those people to shoot 4 deer apiece. That's a very, very, very difficult proposition, number one. Number two, there are no guarantees that anybody is going to be able to, that I'm going to be able to track down 5 people that are going to want to even fulfill what I need or what is needed from a conservation perspective. That being said, there's a lot of concerns to me, how that's being managed. So, I've given my recommendations to the commission through different channels, but we have to have better communication with the people that are actually within the bureaucracy that are ultimately putting pen to paper and kind of laying out and drafting these programs. I find it hard pressing, to put it kindly. If people do not utilize these programs, it's hard to then envision how to draft them. And I'm not insulting anybody's intelligence, so please don't take it that way. But the fact of the matter is, if you don't use something, it's kind of hard to understand truly what you're putting pen to paper. It's no different than the idea of, well, why would 4 tags be allocated to a hunter? Like, who came up with that idea? How practically does that work? It doesn't work. It's no different than the fact of, you shoot a deer in 90-degree weather and you have to wait for the game commission to come pick it up to then take it to a butcher shop. I mean, 9 times out of 10, by the time they get there, the deer is already spoiled or wasted to the fact that it's to the point it's really no good anymore. So it's just the practical nature of a lot of these programs. I feel it would be much better suited if you engage the private sector and ask for their input. Had honest conversations, sit down at a table, and instead of being adversarial, be open-minded. That's really the root of it. Like, there's nobody on this planet that knows everything, and even people that are in leadership positions do not know everything. So it's critical that you put people around you so you can help to make good decisions. And right, wrong, or indifferent, the Game Commission, from a management perspective, has a lot of problems with wildlife. That is probably an understatement times 10. When you look at the collective body of issues that currently exist with wildlife, it's been a problematic growing snowball that's been rolling down the mountain, and it continues to grow and grow and grow. I would say over the past 18 to 24 months, there's been a lot of, I would say, an outcry from people complaining of extreme crop damages, filing of bankruptcy. Certainly the list can go on and on. I know I've shared my personal experiences from dealing with hawks to dealing with, raccoons, deer. The list goes on and on. We just have to do a better job. We have to be willing to work together. We have to be willing to communicate better. We have to be compassionate. When these agencies are the ones formulating these programs, and it's not addressing the needs of what we're actually dealing with, it's a huge problem. And and there has to be a better mechanism, to handle predators, to handle crop damages. We shouldn't be in this situation where people are literally losing their livelihoods because of mismanagement of wildlife. I was talking to a commissioner recently, and I advocated the fact that, this is at the end of the day, when we talk about wildlife, I'm a huge conservation-minded person. I love the outdoors. I love to share our experiences. I love to, listen to people, to hear people's stories. Because when you suck it all in like a sponge, it really gives you a better appreciation for the whole, I would say, environmental network. Listening to stories of how we can do things better. But I think ultimately, I love the opportunity as a person to look at a problem and figure out solutions. And I will say I'm very appreciative and thankful the Game Commission has opened up its doors in the past, I would say, 2 years. Prior to that, I would say there was I hate to say a stone wall, but I would say when it came to information and whatnot, there was really a lot of barriers that existed. A lot of relationships have been forged. Actually, if anybody out there is going to be attending the Great Outdoor Show, February 3rd, there will actually be an event hosted by the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. Poke your head in, stop and see us. I'm really excited. Our booth will be there. That to me is a huge stepping stone connecting agriculture and the outdoors. I can tell you, when I first wanted to advocate for the Farm Bureau to put a booth at the Great Outdoor Show, it was kind of like, well, I don't know, well, not sure. Well, we broke the ice, had our booth there. The booth was not what it needed to be, I guess I'll say. I heard those comments about 20 times from different people. That being said, we picked up shop and, we kind of overhauled the booth this year. So we have a really, really awesome and nice display that I'm excited about. I'm very proud of it. So if you stop and see us, I think you'll see what I'm talking about. Got the whole booth is brand new. So really, really excited about this. And then next step, I was like, hey, why don't we have a, kind of like a meet and greet where people could get together, different coalition partners, different groups that are interested, people in the general public that are movers and shakers and want to see, not only the great outdoors sustain itself, but also grow, educate kids, engage veterans, engage the general public, schools. The list goes on in a positive regard. So I'm excited. I'll actually be at the Great Outdoor Show February the 3rd and the 4th. Stop at the booth and see me. It's going to be an awesome time. We're actually going to have suggestion cards while we're there. I know we're going to be doing that. So if you have any, agricultural, wildlife, fisheries recommendations, suggestions, please give them to us. There's never a bad idea. Certainly, we're happy to have you, happy to have a conversation. We're always trying to pick everybody's brain as to how, everybody can work together to formulate solutions when it comes to wildlife management. So yeah, we'll be there. The booth will be there the whole duration of time. So even if you're not there the 3rd or the 4th, by all means, stop. There'll be a lot of great people from the Pennsylvania Farm Bureau. Happy to talk to you, happy to engage in a conversation. But if you're there the 3rd or the 4th, I will be there, and I'd love to have you. That being said, when you talk about other outdoor shows, I wanted to highlight the fact that this upcoming weekend, January 24th, 25th, and 26th, I will be at the Charleston Outdoor Expo, located in Charleston, West Virginia. So if you're down in that neck of the woods, or if you're looking for something to do this weekend, hit up the internet, check it out. It's going to be a fun event, down at the arena that they have there in Charleston. And then looking ahead to February, the Great Outdoor Show's in Harrisburg, the first week of February. I believe it's Friday to Friday or Friday to Saturday, roughly the 1st through the 7th. Don't quote me exactly. I do not have all the dates for that. But like I said, I will be there the 3rd and the 4th of February. And then looking even beyond that, February 14th, 15th, and 16th, I will be in Philadelphia at the Philadelphia Fishing Expo. Never been to that one. I've never been to Charleston either. So I'm really excited about that one as well because I actually know the Wissahickon Creek anglers from out in Manayunk near Philadelphia. And really excited to see those fellas, guys and gals. There's some passionate fishermen actually that exist in Philadelphia. Believe it or not, when you think of Philadelphia, you don't really think of like fishing. But the Wissahickon is a fantastic little tributary. And then obviously, they have access not very far away out to the ocean and the inlets for the brackish water fishing and also to even go out on the ocean to go fishing. So Philly has a lot of opportunities. Love seeing all of those folks, and certainly I assume that a bunch of them will probably come out for the PA Trout Classic. But yeah, if you have the opportunity, I'll be in Charleston this upcoming weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, the whole week of the first week of February. The Pennsylvania Farm Bureau will have a booth set up at the Great Outdoor Show. It's at the Farm Show Complex in Harrisburg. By all means, stop and see us. I myself will be there February 3rd and the 4th. And then, like I said, in February, Valentine's weekend, actually, the 14th, 15th, and 16th, I will be at the Philadelphia Fishing Expo, which I'm excited because I haven't been to either of these shows. And I'm also really excited about the Farm Bureau booth being overhauled, all new. Looking forward to great conversations with people. And hopefully, in due time, with all of us working together, rowing the boat in the same direction, people can, get on the same page and continue, making positive change. That's what we want, right? This isn't about being adversarial. This is about having honest conversations with people. This is about how can we make the great outdoors as a whole better, whether that's via agriculture, whether that's via the Game Commission, whether that's via the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service, U.S. Department of Agriculture, Pennsylvania Department of Agriculture, Pennsylvania Fish and Boat Commission, our local conservation districts, Pennsylvania Department of Environmental Protection. The list goes on and on and on. There's a lot of opportunities. Government presents many layers, and in many points in time, it's probably way too many layers. We could do with a lot less government and probably achieve a lot more. But that being said, for us to fix what is broken and to address the problems that in turn are opportunities, we have to build relationships with people. We have to be willing to talk about talk about these things and formulate solutions. I've been on the show now for roughly 45 minutes, and the temperature went from -1 to +4. So, see, we're headed in a positive direction, even from the temperature. Maybe I'm helping with my positivity here today. But that being said, I'm going to, I want to give a special thanks to our sponsors, the Mariana Outdoorsman Association. Join today at MarianaOutdoors.com. Again, MarianaOutdoors.com. 2.5 miles private fishing, 1,000-yard rifle range. It's probably the largest within, I believe it's 4 or 5 hours from the location. And then access to upland bird hunting, pistol ranges, clay pigeon shooting. The list goes on and on and on. Wild Acres Farm Fishery and Regulated Hunting Grounds, managed by 10 Mile Creek Outfitters. If you're looking to book any type of corporate event, wedding, family party, etc., please check us out, 10mileco.org, 724-579-0924. If you're looking to book a free-ranging turkey hunt next spring, a whitetail deer hunt this upcoming fall, happy to have you, 724-579-0924, or check us out again at 10mileco.org. Got a lot of great things as the future's coming. We got a lot of great projects on the books. So please continue to follow both of those pages. And as always, this upcoming calendar year, or this ongoing calendar year, every episode that I record here on WMBS Radio is actually available on the Mariana Outdoorsman Association's YouTube channel. Additionally, all those videos are also listed on our website. And I also want to highlight the fact that you can also listen to us via podcast, Spotify, and Anchor Radio. Trying to get the message out, trying to communicate with people, trying to continue dialogues and discussions regarding the great outdoors. But over the next upcoming weeks, I really hope you'll either stop and see me and have a conversation in Charleston, West Virginia. Hopefully you'll be out in Harrisburg in the upcoming weeks for the Great Outdoor Show. I'll be there again February 3rd and the 4th. And last but not least, Valentine's weekend, I'll be out in Philadelphia, which I'm really excited about. The city of brotherly love. Going to do a little exploring while I'm out there. I love history, so looking forward to going to see Centennial Hall and also the Liberty Bell, along with some other, historic, I would say, locations in my travels. But for now, please stay warm. Please remember to warm. Keep everything bundled up, windows closed, doors closed, etc. I'll talk to you next week. I am Jason White. This is Great Outdoors, and I will talk to you soon.